In the year 1705, the trading ship known as the Black Hawk was silently gliding through the calm waters of the Caribbean Sea, venturing beyond the borders of the British Empire. The ship's crew, under the leadership of Captain Jonathan Blackwood, was enjoying the tranquility of the still waters. However, an unsettling calmness hung in the air, foreshadowing impending change. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, strange occurrences began to unfold on the ship. First, several members of the crew disappeared during the night shift. Captain Blackwood and others scoured the ship in search of the missing men, but there was no trace of them. Over the course of a few days, the disappearances escalated, and those who returned were in a state of utter terror. Some appeared to be on the verge of madness, claiming that something was pursuing them. Captain Blackwood, determined to uncover the mystery, made a horrifying discovery. During the nights, the ship's crew began to hear a strange melody in the distance. The haunting song set shivers down the sailors' spines, and as the disappearances continued, the ship was slowly transforming into a ghostly vessel. One night, as Captain Blackwood roamed the ship's deck, he could scarcely believe his eyes. Before him stood a tall, pale-faced man with sharp fangs. In that moment, he realized he was face to face with a vampire. The vampire began to drain Captain Blackwood's life force. Despite his feeble resistance, the vampire's power was slowly consuming him. However, with the break of dawn, the vampire shrieked and was forced to retreat from the sunlight. As the first rays of dawn bathed the ship, the vampire howled and fled, unable to withstand the sunlight. Captain Blackwood, gasping for breath, managed to survive the encounter. Captain Blackwood attempted to rally his crew, but many had gone mad, and some were determined to search for the missing crew members. However, the sea had more mysteries in store for them. The Black Hawk and its crew gained notoriety due to the horrifying events they experienced, and they named the island Vampire Island. Captain Blackwood, however, found it increasingly challenging to convey his harrowing experiences, as no one believed him. The ship and crew became marked by the indelible scars of their terrifying ordeal, evolving into a legend whispered throughout the Caribbean Sea. Captain Blackwood decided to unravel the mystery of the vampire that haunted the seas. The crew prepared to venture to Vampire Island, knowing that dangers lurked at every turn. During their investigation, the crew uncovered the vampire's secret. This vampire had returned from a cursed death. Now an immortal entity had roamed the dark waters of the Caribbean. Thirsting for blood, the crew devised a plan to use the power of the sun to defeat the vampire. A battle unfolded in a cemetery on the island, where they confronted the vampire. Despite the vampire's attempts to block the sunlight, the crew managed to keep it exposed. In one final desperate attempt, the vampire tried to break free, but the crew overcame it. With the vampire's destruction, the curse that had plagued the island was lifted. Captain Blackwood had made a great sacrifice to eliminate the vampire. Though wounded, his spirit was at peace. The crew, with heavy hearts, left the island behind. The Black Hawk and its crew, survivors of the harrowing events, departed the island. No longer was the ship known as a ghostly vessel. It was simply a ship again, sailing the tranquil seas. Over time, the tale of the Black Hawk and the vampire faded into obscurity. Sailors and travelers remembered it only as a legend, a distant story of a time long past. Nevertheless, sailors and travelers never forgot the story of the Black Hawk and the vampire. They remained vigilant as they ventured across the seas, always mindful of the unknown that might lie ahead. Perhaps the curse of the Black Hawk and the vampire became a haunting legacy passed down to future generations. The Caribbean Sea continued to carry echoes of this terrifying tale, serving as a constant reminder that the sea held many secrets. In the end, the story of the Black Hawk and the vampire symbolized the fear within us all. Captain Blackwood's sacrifice and the crew's courage showed how humanity could triumph over adversity. The Black Hawk and the vampire had found their peace in the vast expanses of the Caribbean Sea. The seas remained serene and silent, a world where the terrifying tale had come to an end.